Resin has one of the lowest skill floors of any craft that produces genuinely premium-looking results. Most of what makes a resin project look professional comes from the setup, the mold, and the inclusions, not advanced technique. Here are 50 easy projects, and for each one, I'm telling you exactly what makes it achievable for a beginner and what makes it worth making. Number 1. Basic round coasters, silicone mold. A set of 4 round resin coasters poured in a standard silicone coaster mold using a simple swirl of 2 or 3 pigmented resin colors is the project most resin makers start with, and with good reason. The mold does all the shaping work. Your job is mixing correctly to the ratio your resin specifies, adding color and pouring. The most common beginner mistake is tapping the mold bottom too hard to release bubbles, which displaces the pigment pattern. Number 2. Resin keychains, letters, shapes, charms. Small resin keychains in basic geometric shapes, circles, hexagons, teardrops, stars, pour in under 5 minutes each and cure fully under a UV lamp in 60 to 90 seconds with UV resin, making them one of the fastest projects to produce at volume. UV resin specifically is the beginner's tool here. No mixing ratio, no pot life to worry about, cures on demand. Add glitter, dried flowers, or a small printed photo before curing. Number 3. Pressed flower bookmarks, flat mold. A flat rectangular resin bookmark mold with a pressed flower or fern frond arranged inside and sealed under a clear pour is one of the most consistently beautiful beginner projects because the natural botanical does the visual work. You only need to place it carefully and pour cleanly over it. Use dried and pressed botanical specifically, never fresh. Moisture from fresh flowers causes cloudiness and can prevent proper curing. Number 4. Resin rings in a round ring mold. Resin rings cast in a round ring mold are achievable for beginners because the mold handles the geometry entirely. Choose a transparent or semi-transparent pigment color to give the ring visual depth rather than a fully opaque color, which looks flat. Adding a small dried botanical, a piece of foil, or a single holographic glitter flake to the center of the pour creates a natural focal point without any additional skill. Number 5. Resin earrings, multiple shapes. Small teardrop, oval, or geometric earring molds pour quickly and produce lightweight earrings that are genuinely comfortable to wear despite their visual presence. The beginner mistake in earrings resin is overfilling the mold. Overflow creates a dome on the back that must be sanded flat, which adds significant finishing time. Fill just to the mold's surface level. A matching pair of studs alongside the statement earrings, cast in the same color and worn in a second ear piercing, extends a single pour session into a complete 2-product set. Number 6. Resin hair clips, cabochon on clip base. Casting a small resin cabochon, a flat-backed dome shape, in a simple dome mold, then adhering it to a barrette or jaw clip base with jewelry-grade adhesive creates a wearable hair accessory that requires only the simplest pouring technique. The dome mold does the shaping. The dome's natural magnifying lens effect makes even a tiny dried flower look intentional and detailed, which gives this product a visual impact well beyond its simple construction. Number 7. Resin pendant with nature inclusions. A simple oval or round pendant mold filled with a small slice of dried citrus, a pressed leaf, a single butterfly wing section from ethically sourced specimens, or a tiny shell creates a pendant whose visual complexity comes entirely from the inclusion rather than any technique on your part. The resin's clarity is everything here. Use a crystal clear, low viscosity casting resin and follow the manufacturer's ratio precisely because even a slight off-ratio mix produces a yellow-tinted pendant rather than the glass clear result the natural inclusion needs to be seen through effectively. Number 8. Resin ring dish, flat mold. A shallow, wide ring dish poured in a flat silicone mold and finished with a thin layer of gold leaf or alcohol ink swirled across the base before the final clear pour is a beginner-accessible home decor project that produces a genuinely premium-looking result. The gold leaf application, laying loose imitation gold leaf onto a still tacky, partially cured resin layer, takes 30 seconds and produces a level of luxurious visual impact that no other technique at this skill level matches. Number 9, resin tray with alcohol ink swirls. Pouring a thin layer of clear resin into a silicone tray mold and dropping alcohol ink directly onto the wet surface, then manipulating the color with a heat gun or simply tilting the mold to encourage flow, creates an organic, unpredictable swirl pattern that looks like marble or fluid art. The unpredictability is a feature, not a flaw. Every tray pour is genuinely unique, and that inherent variation is what gives these trays their appeal to buyers who want something no factory can reproduce identically. Number 10, dome paperweights with inclusions. A thick, solid resin dome poured in a large half-sphere silicone mold with a base inclusion of real sand, tiny shells, and a few small pebbles arranged before pouring creates a desk or shelf object that buyers describe as looking like a trapped piece of ocean floor. The key technique is the base. Arrange the inclusions directly on the mold bottom before mixing any resin. Pour a thin securing layer, allow it to partially gel, then pour the main dome fill. Number 11, resin phone stand, triangular mold. A simple triangular base phone stand, 2 pieces cast in flat molds, joined with a small amount of fresh resin, is a functional desk accessory project well within beginner reach. Both mold pieces are simple flat rectangles. The angle is set during assembly rather than during the pour. A semi-transparent tinted resin, so the phone stand has color without obscuring the desk beneath it, works particularly well visually and functionally. Number 12, resin keychains with photos, miniature locket style. A keychain cast with a tiny printed photo sealed inside clear resin, but explored here specifically as a beginner project, requires only UV resin, a flat keychain mold, a printed image cut to fit, and a UV lamp. Print the image at the correct miniature size at home using inkjet paper. Allow the ink to dry completely, at least 24 hours is recommended to prevent ink bleeding into the resin. Seal with a thin layer of Mod Podge before resin contact and cure under a UV lamp for a clear, permanent result. Number 13, resin magnets, small square or circle molds. Small resin shapes poured in simple square or circle molds with a self-adhesive magnet applied to the back after demolding create functional fridge magnets from any inclusion material. Tiny dried flowers, miniature polymer clay charms, holographic glitter arrangements, or printed paper motifs all work as inclusions. The magnet format specifically is one of the best craft fair impulse purchases available. At $5 to $8 each, buyers add them to any existing purchase without deliberating. Number 14, resin number and letter molds, custom signage. Individual letter and number shapes cast in resin using alphabet silicone molds available in multiple font styles from craft suppliers are assembled into words, house numbers, or name plaques and sold as personalized home decor. The molds require no special technique. Standard 2-part epoxy in a metallic or marble effect color poured to mold depth and demolded after curing is the entire process. Number 15, resin charging tray with crystal grid. A shallow, square, or rectangular tray mold poured with a deep purple or dark navy resin base with tiny crystal chips, amethyst, clear quartz, citrine, arranged across the base before the pour and sealed under a clear top layer, creates a decorative charging tray for the spiritual wellness and crystal collector communities. The crystal chip arrangement is the only design skill required. Place them in a simple geometric pattern or scattered evenly, and the resin does the rest. Number 16, resin ocean scene coasters, layered blue pour. Layered ocean coasters, a sandy beige bottom layer with real sand mixed in, a mid-layer of graduated blues using separate pours timed when the previous layer reaches the consistency of honey, and a white foam edge detail applied by touching a heat gun to a thin white resin layer poured at the crest position, require multiple sessions, but each individual session step is simple. The layers create a depth illusion that flat single pour coasters cannot achieve. Number 17, Resin art canvas. Pour on stretched canvas. Pouring pigmented resin directly on a stretched canvas laid flat and elevated on cups so the overflow drips can fall freely from the sides produces a glossy, dimensional art piece that has both the material richness of resin and the conventional wall art format of a framed canvas. The sides of the canvas, where resin drips and collects, become part of the aesthetic and are often the most visually interesting element of the finished piece. Number 18, resin magnifying crystal ball, sphere mold. A solid resin sphere cast in a two-part acrylic sphere mold by pouring one hemisphere, allowing it to cure, demolding, then casting the complete sphere around it produces an object with a visual weight and clarity of a crystal ball, particularly if cast in deep teal, midnight purple, or clear with a single floating inclusion. Sphere molds require careful alignment of the two mold halves during the second pour to avoid a visible seam line. Number 19, resin bangle bracelets, silicone bangle mold. A resin bangle poured in a silicone bangle mold, available in round and D-shaped profiles, is a wearable project that requires no jewelry hardware. The mold produces a complete bangle form with no assembly beyond demolding. A translucent resin with embedded dried botanical petals, metallic foil pieces, or colored glitter creates a bracelet that looks handcrafted in a deliberate, intentional way. Number 20, resin wine charms, set of 6. Small resin shapes cast with different colored inclusions in each, one with red glitter, one with green, one with gold, and so on, attached to thin wire loops that clip around the stem of a wine glass, produces a functional entertaining accessory set. The beginner advantage is simplicity. 6 small mold pours, each a slightly different color combination, require 20 to 30 minutes of active work. Number 21, resin bookends, geometric base molds. A matched pair of resin bookends, heavy forms cast in a thick square or wedge silicone mold with a non-slip base applied after curing, requires significant resin volume. These are among the largest pours most beginners attempt, but no complex technique beyond correct mixing and a large enough mold. Deep poured epoxy resin generates heat during curing. This is called the exothermic reaction, and thick pours should use a slow cure, low exotherm resin formula to prevent cracking. Number 22, resin drawer pulls and cabinet knobs. Casting resin in small dome molds and screwing a bolt thread into the back while the resin is still gel stage, or using a cabinet screw base insert pressed into the bottom immediately after demolding and before full cure, creates custom drawer pulls that can be made in any color or finish to match specific room aesthetics. Material cost per knob, $1 to $2, selling price, $10 to $16 each. Number 32, resin memo holder, desk organizer. A small block of clear or colored resin with a thin vertical slot cast in it, achieved by pressing a small piece of acrylic sheet or a thin metal insert into the mold before pouring and then removing it after cure, creates a slot that holds memo papers, small cards, or a single photograph upright on a desk. The slot insert is the only technique detail that separates this from a simple solid block pour. Number 24, resin Christmas ornaments, round mold. Small round resin ornaments, poured in sphere halves and joined, or cast in open front round flat molds, allow unlimited decorative variation through inclusion choice. Tiny Christmas tree shapes, miniature red berries and holly leaves, gold leaf, white iridescent glitter for a snow globe effect, or a small printed holiday image. The holiday ornament market specifically rewards visual variety. Producing 6 to 8 different inclusion styles rather than a single design gives buyers a reason to purchase multiple ornaments as a set for a complete tree, rather than stopping at 1 or 2. Number 25, resin seed storage tags, gardening accessory. Small flat resin tags with a printed seed packet image or hand-lettered seed name and sealed in the clear resin, punched with a hole and looped with garden twine, are garden organization products for seed saving, sold in sets of 12 to 20. Material cost per tag, $0.20 to $0.40. Selling price for a set of 20, $22 to $35. Grouping them in themed sets, a herb garden set, a cut flower set, a root vegetable set, creates natural product categories that serve different gardening communities. Number 26, resin wall clock, round mold with clock mechanism. A large round resin disc cast in a wide, shallow circular mold and fitted with a standard AA battery clock mechanism through a drilled central hole creates a wall clock with a completely custom appearance that no commercial clock manufacturer produces. The clock face design is entirely up to the maker. A single color pour, a geode style pour, an ocean pour, or a galaxy pour. Clock mechanisms are available from craft suppliers for $2 to $4 each. Number 27, resin and wood serving board accent. A small oval resin insert poured into a routed channel in a wooden serving board creates the resin and wood combination aesthetic without requiring the full river table construction that large-scale resin wood projects demand. The oval channel is routed or carved into the wood first, the wood is sealed with tape, and a colored resin pour fills the channel. Sanding the resin insert flush with the wood surface after curing, using 400 through 2000 grit wet and dry paper, produces the seamless finish that distinguishes a professional result. Number 28, resin seed storage tags, gardening accessory. Small flat resin tags with a printed seed packet image or hand-lettered seed name sealed inside, punched with a hole and looped with garden twine, are gardening organization product for seed saving, sold in sets of 12 to 20. Material cost per tag, 20 cents to 40 cents. Selling price for a set of 20, $22 to $35. Grouping them in themed sets, an herb garden set, a cut flower set, a root vegetable set, creates natural product categories that serve different gardening communities. Number 39, resin mosaic effect coasters, colored chip inclusions. Rather than pouring pigmented liquid resin, fill a coaster mold with small pieces of colored resin cast from previous projects, broken pieces, overflow scraps, offcuts trimmed from previous pours, arranged in a mosaic pattern, and then filled over with a clear resin pour. This technique produces a terrazzo-like effect and converts material that would otherwise be waste into a finished product. Number 30, resin book corner protectors. Small triangular resin pieces cast in a simple right-angle triangle mold with a thin fabric or suede backing adhered after curing are book corner protectors used to protect the corners of journals, planners, and special edition books from wear and bending. Material cost per set of 4, $1.50 to $3, selling price $14 to $22. A set of 4 in a coordinating color family, rather than 4 identical pieces, lets buyers choose based on the book they're protecting while keeping the set visually coherent. Number 31, resin pen holders, weighted base. A cylindrical or rectangular resin pen holder cast with a dividing section that creates separate compartments for pens, scissors, and rulers is a desk organization product that requires only the correct mold and enough resin volume to create the weight that gives the holder stability. Adding metal fillings, river sand, or small river pebbles to the resin base layer creates additional weight without additional resin volume. Number 32, resin cloud shapes, aesthetic decor. Simple cloud shapes cast in cloud-form silicone molds available from craft suppliers in small, medium, and large sizes, filled with a dreamy pastel pour of 2 or 3 blended colors, produce a purely decorative shelf object for the aesthetic, pastel, and bedroom decor markets. Material cost per cloud, $1 to $3. Selling price, $12 to $22 each. Number 33, resin sun catcher, circle with dried flowers. A large, flat, circular resin sun catcher, 4 to 6 inches in diameter, poured in a clear circular silicone mold with dried and pressed botanicals arranged across the face and sealed under a single pour with a jump ring attached to the top before full cure, is a window hanging that catches and refracts light beautifully without requiring faceting, cutting, or any glassworking skill whatsoever. The botanical inclusions create a natural stained glass quality when backlit, and that effect, invisible in normal overhead lighting but dramatic in window direct sunlight, is the discovery moment that drives impulse purchases at craft fairs when buyers hold the piece up to available light. Number 34, resin trinket jars, resin lid on glass vessel. A standard glass jar with a custom resin-poured lid, the lid cast in a mold sized to match the jar's opening, cured and placed on top, creates a trinket jar, ring holder, or jewelry storage vessel with a handmade resin top. The jar itself requires no modification. The resin lid simply rests in position. A coordinating set of 3 jars in the same resin color scheme in small, medium, and large sizes sells significantly better as a gift than a single standalone jar. Number 36. Resin number plates, house signs. Individual house numbers cast in bold block numeral molds, finished in weather-resistant UV resin with a metallic or concrete effect pigment and mounted on a backing board, create a custom address sign product. Always use UV-stabilized epoxy resin or outdoor-rated UV resin for any product intended for exterior installation, and communicate this in your listing clearly. Material cost per number, $1.50 to $3. Selling price for a complete 3-number address set, $45 to $80. Number 36. Resin bow hair accessories, flat molds. A flat bow-shaped resin piece cast in a silicone bow mold with the 2026 coquette bow trend fully in mind, attached to a barrette or alligator clip base, creates a fashion hair accessory that positions at the exact intersection of the coquette aesthetic and handmade jewelry. The bow shape is entirely produced by the mold. Photographing the bow in natural light against a plain white or blush pink background is specifically the product shot format that performs best in this aesthetic category's Etsy search results. Number 37. Resin seashell display, encased shells. Beach-collected shells arranged in a flat mold or a small frame and sealed under a clear resin pour create a framed coastal display object, a preserved piece of a specific beach or vacation location. The collected from specific beach name provenance is the narrative that converts a generic coastal aesthetic product into a genuine keepsake. A clear printed label included with the piece, naming the beach and date of collection, elevates this from decorative object to genuine keepsake and justifies a premium price. Number 38. Resin cake toppers, custom text or shape. Flat or slightly dimensional resin cake toppers, happy birthday text, a specific number, a couple's initials, or a celebratory shape, cast in letter or shape molds, finished on a cocktail stick or a thin wooden skewer pressed into the gel stage resin before full cure, are event accessory products with strong year-round gifting demand. Material cost per topper, 50 cents to $1.50. Selling price, $12 to $22. Number 39. Resin pet ID tags, silicone bone or palm molds. Small resin pet ID tags cast in bone, paw print, or heart molds with the pet's name and owner's phone number printed on waterproof paper and sealed inside the clear resin face are functional pet accessories that can replace or supplement standard metal tags. Drill or punch the hanging hole while the resin is still in a firm gel state rather than fully cured, which is significantly easier and produces cleaner holes. Material cost per tag, 50 cents to $1. Number 40. Resin bottle opener, handle pour. A standard metal bottle opener handle wrapped in a resin overpour, placing the metal opener on a base, building a mold form around the handle section, and pouring resin to encapsulate the handle in a custom grip shape, produces a functional kitchen tool with a handmade artisan finish. Material cost for the bottle opener blank plus resin, $3 to $6. Selling price, $22 to $38. Number 41. Resin moon phase wall set, 9 graduated circle molds. From a small crescent to a full circle and back, poured in deep navy blue, midnight blue, or black resin with silver and white pigment swirls, create a moon phase wall set that hangs as a complete installation. Graduating the pigment application precisely, the smallest crescent with the least white, the full moon with the most silver, is the design detail that makes the set read as a cohesive, considered arrangement rather than 9 random circles of varying sizes. Number 42. Resin flower preservation in clear blocks. Fresh flowers, a wedding bouquet flower, a prom corsage bloom, a garden rose from a memorable occasion, preserved by embedding them in a clear casting resin block, creates a permanent memorial of a temporary natural object. Fresh flowers must be dried thoroughly before resin embedding. Fresh flowers contain moisture that causes cloudiness and bubbles during cure. The freeze-dry method produces the best color retention. Pressing and air drying works for flat specimens. Silica gel drying is effective for three-dimensional flowers like roses. Number 43, resin dice set, six-sided standard. A standard set of 6 polyhedral dice, D4, D6, D8, D10, D12, and D20, cast in dice molds using clear or semi-transparent resin with a glitter or galaxy-inspired inclusion, is a product specifically aimed at the enormous dedicated tabletop role-playing game community. Dice molds are available specifically as polyhedral sets from resin craft suppliers, offering custom color options, a specific buyer's favorite galaxy color, their team's colors, or a character-inspired palette is the differentiation that separates a basic dice set from a personalized commission. Number 44, resin abstract tile wall art, square mold, multiple tiles. 6 to 9 resin tiles cast in the same square mold, each one with a slightly different but tonally coordinated pigment combination, assembled into a grid and mounted on a backing board or simply arranged directly on a wall, create a modular resin art installation. The coordinated but varied approach is the design key. Each tile should read as related to the others through a shared color family, but not so identical as to look mass-produced. Number 45, resin hair barrette, large format French clip. A large, flat, or gently domed resin piece cast in an elongated oval or rectangle mold and attached to a French barrette base using jewelry-grade E6000 adhesive creates a bold statement hair accessory. At 8 to 10 centimeters long, the scale of the resin piece is what makes this a statement rather than a subtle accessory, and that bold scale photographs dramatically against both light and dark hair for Etsy listing photography. Number 46, resin quote plaque, embedded text. A flat rectangular resin plaque with a meaningful quote printed on waterproof paper and sealed face up under a clear resin pour creates a desk display or shelf decoration. The text is the entire product. The quote selection is the design decision. Popular categories: motivational phrases for home offices, maternal affirmations for nurseries, anniversary dates and meeting place coordinates for couples gifts. Always verify that quotes used are either in the public domain, original compositions, or properly licensed before using them commercially in a physical product. Number 47, resin fruit slicer display, decorative faux citrus. A wide, flat disc mold filled with a layered resin pour, a deep orange-yellow center transitioning through orange to white at the simulated rind edge, produces a faux citrus slice that reads as a cross-section of an orange, lemon, or grapefruit as a decorative display. Dried real citrus slices are typically used as inclusions in other resin projects, but this technique creates the faux citrus aesthetic from pigment alone, allowing more saturated, perfect color that real dried citrus cannot always produce. Number 48, resin spoon rests, kitchen decor. A flat silicone spoon rest mold, shaped specifically for resting a cooking spoon beside the stovetop, filled with a swirled resin pour in kitchen-appropriate colors, creates a kitchen decor product with a clear daily use function. Note and communicate that resin spoon rests should not be placed directly on a hot stovetop surface, as epoxy resin's heat tolerance is limited, typically 120 degrees Fahrenheit to 150 degrees Fahrenheit for standard casting resins. Number 49, resin initial pendants, large format monogram jewelry. A large format initial letter pendant cast in an alphabet letter mold at 3 to 4 centimeters tall, filled with a deep translucent color or a clear pour with botanical inclusions and finished with a simple bail attached at the top, creates a bold statement necklace that the monogram jewelry community specifically searches for as a personalization product. The scale of these pieces make them one of the most photogenic resin jewelry products available because the letter shape is immediately identifiable in a listing thumbnail, giving buyers an instant visual recognition hook that complex small-scale pieces lack. Number 50, resin travel tag, luggage identifier. A flat rectangular resin tag poured with a distinctive eye-catching color combination or inclusion pattern and an ID information card sealed on the back face and a durable nylon loop or O-ring for attachment to luggage creates a custom luggage tag that makes a bag immediately identifiable on an airport carousel or in an overhead bin. Material cost $1.50 to $3. Selling price $18 to $28.